how do we link it? Connection नहीं बन पा रहा है. Connection क्यों नहीं बन पा रहा है? Because you have not understood the subject or you have not developed that particular interest to understand that subject. Like I'm also doing my PhD from geography. I have been taught I have taught in Central University also. तो NCERT को कैसे पढ़ना है और किस तरह से उसको सिंपल करके पढ़ना है ताकि आपको समझ में आ जाए, it is very very important in UPSC. And if you clearly observe these rivers, you will clearly see this statement. आपको ये statement clearly यहाँ पे नजर आएगा कि कौन सी ऐसी रिवर है जो कि एंड में जाकर के इंडस से मिल जाती है. And in my class lectures, I told them how to memorize the bordering countries. कैसे इस bordering countries जो कि यूक्रेन को सराउंड कर रहा है उसको कैसे याद करना है, ये मैंने उनको बताया था. And this was the same question that was asked in 2023. Hello everyone. So this video is about giving you all the conceptual understanding of geography with respect to UPSC examination. So in this video, I am going to talk about the different branches of geography. The most important part is the issues faced by the students while dealing with this subject and how we are dealing with the issues of the students. And also I'll be showing you some of the questions that have been directly asked from my lectures. So I request you to watch this video till the end. So let's start and let's begin. The first of all, we have to understand what is this geography. And in UPSC examination, what actually do we study in geography? So basically, if we see this geography, it has several branches. Basically, we have categorized this geography into different branches. The first major two branches are physical geography and the another is human geography. Now, if you see UPSC syllabus, you will also find certain things which is related to Indian geography and then the world geography. Now guys, it is very important that it must be very clear in your eyes that this Indian geography and world geography is not a different branch of geography, but it is a part of these two, physical and human geography. I'll tell you how. First, start like what actually comes in this physical geography. So physical geography, it deals with the physical structure in the world, right? That physical structure could be natural and it could be man-made. And the different phenomena that are associated with those structures and those patterns. Now in human geography, we study basically the patterns in which humans are distributed, how they are interacting with respect to space. So this is the basic definition of physical geography and human geography. Now, अब आपके दिमाग में आ रहा होगा कि आखिर आता क्या है physical and human के अंदर. Physical geography के अंदर अगर हम बात करें, it has several different syllabus which includes climatology, right? That deals with all the phenomena of climate. It has oceanography. It has geomorphology. Then it has biogeography. Then further you can further classify it as a soil geography, environmental geography and others. Okay. Now within this human geography, we have different topics or different syllabus which includes population geography, economic geography, agricultural geography, political geography, social geography and etc. Okay. Now, when you come to this Indian and world, then how will you distinguish between Indian and world and physical and human, right? So now guys, see, in the India, you have different physical features that are located within this continent. We have Himalayas, we have plateaus, we have desert and several other phenomena. So when we are dealing with India, within this India, we can have physical features. Now India has a diverse society, different type of people that they are interacting. We have different societal groups, we have different caste structures, we have different religious structures, we have different types of genders that are there and they all are interacting over the space. Now that thing will come under human. So when we are talking about Indian geography, it can further classified into a physical geography and in the human geography. Now similarly, when we are talking about world, then again in the world, we again can classify this world into two types, which includes physical and human. Say, for example, if we are dealing with the climate of India, say for example monsoon, then it becomes a part of Indian geography. But when we are dealing with climate of the world, it is a physical geography, but it is a part of world geography. Similarly, when we are dealing with the population of India, it becomes part of Indian geography, and at the same time, it is also a human geography because we are dealing with population, we are dealing with human. But now when we are dealing with the distribution of population over the world or the density of the population over the world, then that will come under world geography. And again, that is a part of what? Human geography, right? So, the physical and human, this is the main branch of geography in which further categorization you can do. Now, geography has third branch as well, but that is not for your concern. That is for the higher studies. That includes geographical techniques, GIS, remote sensing, all the tools and techniques that we use. But that is not part of UPSC. So you have to only deal with physical and human. Within this physical and human, we can either do this Indian and world. So this is basically a branches of geography in which we are concerned with. Okay? Now, let's see this geography with respect to the scope of this examination of UPSC. This is a syllabus, right? GS paper 1, GS paper 3. So when you are preparing for mains, ultimately your preparation is also being done for prelims, right? So I have taken the syllabus of mains. Now, if you see this syllabus, अगर आप इस syllabus को देखते हैं, आपको पता चलेगा कि it is quite vague, अस्पष्ट. आपको कुछ भी clearly पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि what actually this UPSC syllabus is about with respect to geography. It is quite vague. Salient features of world physical geography. Now, how will you know what are the salient features and what actually comes under this physical geography part? Right. Again, you have distribution of key natural resources across the world. Important geophysical phenomena. So, can you see the vagueness of this structure of the syllabus? So, this syllabus of geography itself becomes quite vague, and जो students हैं उनको ये बहुत difficulty होती है कि आखिर क्या-क्या चीजें हमारे syllabus में आ रहा है या फिर आने वाला है, especially for the beginners, right? Similarly, if you see GS paper 3, they have mentioned some of the crops like cropping patterns, infrastructure, energy ports. This is also a part of economics. Then conservation, environmental pollution, degradation, environmental impact assessment. This is a part of environment. Then we have disaster and disaster management. Similarly, in GS paper 1, we have one topic that is Indian society. Now, you will be thinking that, is ma'am mad that why she has included Indian society in this geography syllabus? No. Guys, in geography, we have social geography as well within the branch of human geography. Now, within this social geography talks about so many things. It talks about diversity, it talks about caste, it talks about religion, it talks about differences that exist in our society. So, this Indian society ultimately becomes part of your human geography. तो जब आप geography पढ़ते हैं, geography बहुत vast है. और ज्योग्राफी की वास्टनेस आप तब समझ पाएंगे जब आप उनके डिफरेंट ब्रांचेस को समझेंगे. एंड वंस यू आर डन विद द एंटायर रीडिंग ऑफ ज्योग्राफी, आई एम टेलिंग यू गाइज, योर many subjects will be covered. Your some portion of economics will be covered, your some portion of environment will be covered, your some portions of polity will also be covered. Why? Because geopolitics is also a part of geography, right? So this Indian society, it is a part of social geography. So when you are doing this Indian society, we will be dealing with secularism, we will be dealing with religion, caste, gender, etc. So this is just to show you how vague the UPSC syllabus is. Now, most important part, what are the issues that are faced by students? See guys, I have experience of 4 or 5 years of teaching in geography. So many a times students have come in front of me with different types of issues and different types of problems. And within those issues, what I have found कि कुछ तो similarity है उन सब के प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ. कुछ सिमिलैरिटीज आपको हर स्टूडेंट्स के साथ सिमिलर मिलेंगी, एंड दैट आई हैव included here. I think you also are going with the same type of issue with respect to dealing with this subject. Okay? So first of all, the technicalities. So geography is quite technical. ठीक है ना? People will tell you to read NCERT. आप NCERT जाके पढ़िए और आप climatology जाके पढ़िए. ठीक है ना? And उसके बाद आप वापस आइए और मुझे बताइए कि आपको कितना समझ में आया है. कहने का मतलब ये है that this geography is not like other NCERTs like history, political science, where you will read and you will understand by yourself. This geography is quite technical in nature. So just by reading NCERT, you are not going to understand all those technical concepts because only 2-3 lines are given. Air pressure, air mass, monsoon, right? So few things are there. So if you are reading it, those topics are quite technical in nature. You're not going to understand it. Even if you see this NCERT book, this is very thin book. आपको लगेगा कि बहुत कम पढ़ना है, but वो कम नहीं पढ़ना है. वो किताब खुद में एक सागर की तरह है. Because it has so many terms which is not well explained in that book. So technicality is very, very important. Like you can say this issue is faced by all of the students. They don't understand कि जो air की movement हो रही है, easterly and westerly, and because of this Coriolis force, right में हो रहा है, left में हो रहा है, so how these winds are actually moving. So just by reading yourself, you're not going to understand it. And I'm telling you guys, if you understand this subject, climatology, which seems to be technical, but once you understand it, you will automatically understand this oceanography. Because everything is interrelated with this climatology and oceanography. And again, you see this concept of monsoon, which is a quite technical thing, right? Monsoon is a very complex phenomenon. It has multiple reasons behind the occurrence of monsoon. But when you understand this climatology, you will also understand monsoon. So this climatology, which is the most technical part of this entire geography, once you understand this, everything will seem very, very easy. The another issue is vastness. Vastness कहने का मतलब ये है कि ओशनोग्राफी, जैसे जिसमें कि मैंने आपको बताया कि ओशंस के बारे में पढ़ना तो है ही, लेकिन ज्योग्राफी यूपीएससी खुद अपने आप में एक ओशन है. तो ओशन को पढ़ना है और ओशन को समझना है. तो अगर आप इस ओशन को नहीं समझेंगे तो आप खो जाएंगे. ये इतना ज्यादा वास्ट है ये सिलेबस, ये ज्योग्राफी अगर आप देखेंगे, especially I have done my I'm also doing my PhD from geography. I have been taught I have taught in Central University also. So in geography, so there also if I see this geography is quite vast. It has so many things into it. बहुत सारा कुछ है. And that thing might be asked in your UPSC also. So how to limit yourself? How to fix yourself? Right? So vastness is the another problem. Now third point is reading NCERTs. As I have mentioned before that NCERTs will appear you simpler, but once you start reading it, especially the class 11th book, Fundamental of Physical Geography, India Physical Environment. These two books are related with the physical geography. So when you are reading these two books, you have so many technical terms which is not well defined. Even if it is there, you will not understand. So reading NCERT in itself becomes very, very tough. तो NCERT को कैसे पढ़ना है और किस तरह से उसको सिंपल करके पढ़ना है ताकि आपको समझ में आ जाए, it is very, very important in UPSC, especially with respect to geography. Now, sources to refer. कई बार बच्चों ने, जब हम वेबिनार करवाते हैं, बच्चे बोलते हैं मैम सिद्धार्था पढ़ लें, माजिद हुसैन पढ़ लें, या फिर हम सविंदर सिंह पढ़ लें, आखिर हम क्या पढ़ें, है ना? तो आपको आखिर किस सोर्स को रेफर करना है? That is also the issue because you cannot go on, keep on reading different books. आज ये उठा लिया, कल वो उठा लिया, इसका एग्रीकल्चर अच्छा है, इसका इंडियन फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी अच्छा है, इसका ज्योग्राफी ऑफ इंडिया अच्छा है. You cannot go through so many books or so many sources, right? So you have to limit your source. You must be knowing what you have to read, right? So this is very, very important कि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आपको क्या पढ़ना है and at the same time कहाँ से पढ़ना है, right? Now map. Now, people will ask me, or students will ask me, ma'am, these maps are, it's very vast. Again, that what to read, which particular continent to focus upon, which particular country to focus upon, which particular city to focus upon. It's very, very vast. And again, within this political boundary, we have again another feature, that is a physical feature that are associated with different continents. तो मैप itself becomes very rigorous, बहुत टफ हो जाता है. तो मैप को कैसे करें, है ना? एक वो इशू आता है. Then we have the issue with the current affairs. पढ़ तो रहे हैं हीट वेव्स के बारे में मैम करंट अफेयर में, पर आ रहा है गैंडीकोटा कैनियन. So how should we study that? So it is equally important that what to study, and more important than what to study, what not to study. क्या नहीं पढ़ना है ये ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है इससे कि क्या पढ़ना है ना? एंड देन अगेन, हाउ टू फाइंड द लिंकेजेस बिटवीन दिस करंट अफेयर एंड द बेसिक syllabus that this UPSC has for geography. How do we link it? Connection नहीं बन पा रहा है. Connection क्यों नहीं बन पा रहा है? Because you have not understood the subject, or you have not developed that particular interest to understand that subject. And then we have the fourth issue, that is answer writing. Ma'am, prelims हो गया qualify, but mains नहीं हुआ because I don't know the proper structure of writing mains. And what to include it, how to mention examples, how to quote scholars, right? So answer writing is equally important, and I think those who are watching this video till now, they all are interested in knowing that what actually is the problem, and you all are facing the same type of issues. Please, you can comment me also. Please tell me what are the other issues that you face with this subject. Okay? Now guys, again, these are the issues. And in UPSC, we know then that when we have issue, we must be finding solution. और solution क्या होगा? जो issues हैं, उसको ही address करना. Now, so how this foundation will actually is going to help you in this subject for geography. So first of all, in this foundation lectures, it will be quite helpful for all of you because it will help you in limiting your sources. ठीक है ना? आपको ये पता चलेगा कि what you have to study and what you don't have to study and from where to study. Right? NCERTs में ही है तो NCERT में क्या है? With NCERT, what other things I have to study? So once you know that these are the sources which I have to revise, then what is the advantage of this? You can do multiple revisions before your examination. And UPSC, it is very important that you revise multiple times before you are going to appear for the examination. So it will help you in limiting your sources. Then geography, that I have told you that there are so many technical terms. So now those technical terms, जब तक आपको समझ में नहीं आ जाता बहुत ही सिंपल तरीकों से, तब तक आप उस चीज को नहीं समझ पाएंगे, है ना? तो यहाँ पे हमारा मेन मोटो यही होता है टू एक्सप्लेन all the complex topics in much simpler way through storytelling, through simpler diagrams, through maps, through various other approaches. So how to make this subject interesting and how to make this subject simpler? आपको कोई भी चीज टफ क्यों लगती है? इसीलिए लगती है ना क्योंकि आपको वो चीज समझ में नहीं आ रही है. So once, और समझ में क्यों नहीं आ रही है? Because that thing is tough for you. So once the thing that is tough for you has become simpler, it is very easy for you to understand the subject, to develop the interest for that subject, right? So our approach is to explain all the topics, all the complex topics, all the different topics in a much simpler way. Now, in our foundation lecture, what we do regular map practice. We are not going to tell you go and do your map by yourself. With time, we will keep on giving you homework. Even in my lectures, what I do, in every lecture, I give a student a particular continent. वो particular continent देने के बाद मैं बोलती हूँ कि look the political boundaries, which are the countries that are landlocked, which are the countries that are bordering through oceans or sea, right? And then I also ask them to see the physical feature that is associated with that continent. So we take one continent at a time. It might take you 2 to 3 days or 4 days in the beginning to complete that entire continent, to memorize that continent. But consistency is the key. So in each lecture, I'll be giving you a continent. Maybe I'll give you 2 to 3 days to see all that continent's features, political boundaries, etc. So in that way, slowly and gradually, your map will also be covered. It will not be like that just day after tomorrow I have my exam and I have to read this entire map and I'm just blank, right? It will not be like that. Since you have practiced that map thoroughly and gradually within your foundation lectures, it will become much easier for you to retain those maps. Then, how to read NCERT? I will show you some of the questions which has been directly asked from NCERT, but people were thinking or students were thinking that from where this question has come. क्योंकि NCERT को पढ़ने का मतलब समझते हैं वो कि बस पढ़ लेना है. NCERT को सिर्फ पढ़ना नहीं है, उसको समझना है. The figures that are given, the boxes that are given, that becomes equally important. The maps that are given. The questions have directly been asked from there and nowhere else. People will say you कि सिद्धार्था से आ गया है, यहाँ से आ गया, वहाँ कहीं से नहीं आया है. That is from NCERT. Now I'll show you how these questions have been asked from those NCERT books. So it is important that you know how to approach NCERT. So in my lectures, I'll also be telling you that how you have to read that NCERT book. Then note making within class. So most of our lectures are in key points. हम key points mention करते हैं, and purposely we mention key points and not the entire paragraph or not the bulky paragraphs. Why? Because if there's a key point and I'm explaining it to you, it means that your attention is there. And once you understand the concept and then you are writing it also, it means that it is getting fixed in your memory. So that is very, very important. That you understand here, you make note here only. So my focus is always to ask students to make notes within the classroom. So note making, along with this NCERT, note making is equally important in my lectures. And the importance of note making you will understand once you have started revising it. Once you are going to give a test. Because जब आप लिखते हैं ना तो आपकी मेमोरी भी काम कर रही होती है. ठीक है, एक तो आप सुन रहे हैं और एक आप लिख रहे हैं, तो दोनों ही तरीके से it works like a double layer. दोनों तरीके से ये काम कर रहा है और वो आपकी मेमोरी में फिट हो जाता है, and that becomes very easy when you are revising it. So note making is very important. और मैं हर बच्चे से बोलती हूँ कि आपको नोट बनानी ही बनानी है. Now sixth thing is regular class homework for revision. So it will not be like that you are coming in the classroom and just hearing the lectures, writing, and you're going back. And there's no feedback. So feedback is from yourself also and from myself also. I'll be keep on taking the feedbacks. I'll be keep on asking. I will keep on giving you the homeworks. Right? And very next day, जो आज मैंने आपको पढ़ाया, the things which I have taught you today, the very next day, I'll ask you in the beginning of the classroom, 15 to 20 minutes. This has been my approach from last 2-3 years. And trust me guys, this has helped students a lot. जो मैं पढ़ाती हूँ, वही next day मैं उनसे पूछती हूँ class के starting में for 15 to 20 minutes. So this will keep you in discipline. I cannot hear that excuses that ma'am, I had to do this. I had to read this thing, I had to read optional, I had to read current affairs, do whatever you want to. I just want a revision. Right? And that will not take much time. आप class में आ रहे हो, I am teaching you, you are attending 2-3 lectures, you are going back, you can revise that topic in just 15 minutes or half an hour. Right? So half an hour is not that much. You can easily give that half an hour. So in my class, homework is very, very important. I just cannot compromise on this particular point. So discipline, consistency, and whatever I'm giving you homework, I will keep on asking you that what you have studied. Okay? And whatever test I will be taking verbally, it will not be something which I have not taught. Everything which I will ask will be from whatever I have taught. Okay? So this is my approach. Now, again, guys, it is important, पढ़ भी लिया, क्लास भी अटेंड कर ली, बट स्टिल क्वेश्चंस नहीं बन रहे हैं, है ना? या फिर पता नहीं चल रहा है क्वेश्चन कहाँ से आ रहा है. Again, the analysis part becomes very important. That previous year question में क्या क्या questions आए हैं and how we have to approach those questions and how those questions are linked with the lectures that I have attended. Whether I am able to solve those questions after attending the lecture or not. So in-depth analysis of all the questions that have been asked previously related to different topics will itself be inculcated or included in that particular lecture. तो आपको अलग से जाके PYQ की देखने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. मैं जो पढ़ाऊंगी उसमें वो क्वेश्चन रहेगा मेंशन एंड आई विल आस्क यू वेदर यू आर एबल टू सॉल्व दोज क्वेश्चंस और नॉट. राइट? इन दैट वे एनालिसिस आपका भी होता चला जाएगा, है ना. आपको कुछ अलग से देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप पढ़ रहे हैं सब्जेक्ट एंड ग्रेजुअली आपका वो इन डेप्थ जो एनालिसिस पार्ट है वो बिल्डअप होता चला जाएगा. देन अगेन regular answer writing practices, because again I have heard from students that prelims निकालना फिर भी easy है, but when it comes to mains they don't know what to write. So it is equally important that you know how to structure your question. What will be coming in introduction part, what will be coming in a body part, and what will be coming in way forward part. So we have different approaches with respect to physical geography and human geography. So when we are attempting a UPSC mains question for physical geography, the approach is different. When we are attempting human geography question in mains, then the approach is different. And now you will be thinking, what is the difference? The difference is physical features are a permanent features, not permanent features, but yes, these are the factual things. है ना? वो factual चीजें हैं जो कि हैं तो हैं. It does not have the diversity in answering. So you cannot suggest something कि mountain है तो mountain है तो है, that is the fact. The river है तो है, that is a fact. So you don't have much thing to write in that. So you have to be very focused. You have to write facts in the physical geography part. But in human geography, that is quite vast. You can write as many answers as you can. Say for example, if I ask you the reason behind the diversity of India, it does not have one single reason or two single reasons. It has multiple reasons, right? So you have that liberty to incorporate as many points as you can, because that becomes part of human geography. Okay? So regular answer writing is again very important part with respect to this foundation class. Now guys, I have told you that I will be showing you some of the questions so that आपको ये ना लगे कि मैं कहीं से भी कुछ भी बात कर रही हूँ, उसका कुछ लिंक है. So if you see these questions with reference to the Indus river system of the following 4 rivers, 3 of them pour into one which joins the Indus direct. Now people were thinking that now river भी पढ़ लिया, सब कुछ पढ़ लिया, but अब ये question कैसे solve करें? NCERT में तो है नहीं. पर अगर आप इस मैप को देखेंगे, this map is given in the NCERT. This statement is not directly written in your book, but if you see this NCERT, if you see this map, you will find that these rivers, right? And if you clearly observe these rivers, you will clearly see this statement. आपको ये statement clearly यहाँ पे नजर आएगा कि कौन सी ऐसे river है जो कि end में जाकर के इंडस से मिल जाती है. उससे पहले वहां पे 3 रिवर जो है वहां पे मर्ज हो चुकी हैं, right? So it is based on the primary observation of this map. Just a minute. So this is based on the primary observation of the map. अब मैप को कैसे देखना है, कैसे पढ़ना है, ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. So when it comes to NCERTs, it is very important that you see these maps and you know how to see these maps. Okay? Now let's see another example. With reference to the water on the planet Earth, consider the following statements, and these were the statements. The amount of water in the rivers and the lakes is more than the amount of groundwater. The amount of water in polar ice caps and glacier is more than the amount of groundwater. है ना? Sorry. So now you will think that, like, who will read this arrangement? I mean, who will remember this arrangement? किसको याद रहेगा कि ग्राउंड वाटर में ज्यादा है? देखने से तो लगता है रिवर में ज्यादा है, पर है ग्राउंड वाटर में ज्यादा, है ना? तो कैसे इस अरेंजमेंट को याद रखेंगे और कहां से आ गया ये? And from like कहाँ हम पढ़ने जाएं? From where we have to go to read to collect these informations? Okay, but guys, this question again have been asked from nowhere. It was directly given in the box of an NCERT book. इस बॉक्स में ये दिया हुआ था टेबल, एंड विद इन दिस टेबल दे हैव मेंशन्ड अबाउट द परसेंटेज ऑफ वाटर होल्डिंग in different sources of water, be it ocean, be it ice cap, glacier, groundwater, soil, environment, etc. तो ये अगेन आपके एनसीईआरटी का था. So now can you see the importance of this box also which is given in your NCERT, right guys? So बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको पता हो कि आपको कैसे पढ़ना है एनसीईआरटी. एनसीईआरटी है इंपॉर्टेंट, पर कैसे पढ़ना है ये मालूम नहीं होता है. तो इसके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है दैट यू हैव प्रॉपर गाइडेंस, that you have somebody, some teacher who can help you out in understanding that how to like develop that thing, to look into these maps, to look into these informations. Okay, now again see this question, and these questions guys I have not taken like very old questions, these are recent year questions, so it has some some linkages. So the crop is subtropical in nature, a hard frost is injurious to it. It requires at least 210 frost-free days and 50 to 100 centimeters of rainfall for its growth. A light, well-drained soil capable of retaining moisture is ideally suited for the cultivation of this type of crop, and the examples options are these. Right? Now again people will think that like how to remember these many technical details about a particular crop, है ना? पर guys again if you see class 10th geography book, in that geography book there's one chapter called agriculture. Agriculture again is a very important topic with respect to UPSC examination, be it economic subject, be it geography subject, be it environment subject, सबके लिए importance है. तो agriculture in itself is a very, it has a multidisciplinary approach, it has different subject that is associated with it, right? अब एग्रीकल्चर को कैसे देख सकते हो? से फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई से एग्रीकल्चर, हाउ द इकोनॉमिक सब्जेक्ट विल लुक इनटू दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. दे विल सी द एक्सपोर्ट एंड इंपोर्ट पार्ट, which particular product, crop or grain is getting imported much, or which particular crop is coming into your country, export and import part, right? Production part, right? When we see in terms of environment, how will you see this subject, agriculture? Then you will see what are the different irrigation techniques, right? What are the different environmental implications of these irrigation techniques? So that becomes part of environment, the same topic, agriculture. Now again, agriculture with respect to geography, how it is related? The different climatic condition that is required to grow that particular crop, that becomes importance for geography, है ना? तो कोई भी एक सब्जेक्ट है तो कैसे मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच होता है, देन हाउ वी हैव टू कलेक्ट दोज इंफॉर्मेशन. So again this chapter agriculture which is given in your NCERT, this particular statement has directly come from the paragraph that is mentioned in the NCERT. तो ये एनालिसिस आपका कैसे डेवलप होगा? खुद से नहीं होगा. You need to have some guidance, because खुद से भी होगा, I'm not telling कि नहीं होगा, but that will take time, है ना? And you don't have that time because you have to read so many subjects, you have to read so many things. Current affairs है, history है, polity है, everything is there, है ना? तो आपको कैसे अपने टाइम को कम करना है? That time consumption जो आप कर रहे हैं वो कम तभी होगा when you have proper guidance, or when you know how to develop that analytical part, and that will come through a proper guidance. Then you see this question, Gandikota Canyon of South India was created by which of the following rivers? है ना? And it has certain again options. So now if you see the previous year question of geography of UPSC prelims, you will see this Pennar river has been asked. वो option में already mentioned था. So ना सिर्फ answer, say for example if this is my question and these are the 4 options which I have given you. So suppose B is the answer, right? So this B is the answer is important, but at the same time the 3 options that are left, that is also important. So UPSC wants you to know about these 3 options as well, which is given. ठीक है ना? एक और एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको बताऊंगी. जैसे सियाचिन के बारे में, सियाचिन ग्लेशियर के बारे में यूपीएससी ने पूछा हुआ है, ठीक है? Now in 2019 there was a question about this Siachen and Nubra Valley, and again when this topic, this Galwan Valley वाला जो stand off हुआ था, that particular location becomes important. That was a part of your current affair. Now again, that Siachen was part of that standoff. Again Siachen become important. So that was question that was asked in 2019, again it was asked in 2021. The same option they gave it as a question in 2021, right? So जो interlinkages है वो कैसे develop होगा, आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि क्या important है, especially with respect to current affairs. Say for example, this time Sonam Wangchuk has done this climate fast. Now this entire Ladakh becomes important. The entire geographical features, passes, glaciers, mountain ranges, etc. becomes important with respect to Ladakh. If not this year, again they will might asking it in some like next year, right? तो ऐसे कौन से न्यूज हैं जो कि इंपॉर्टेंट है और उस न्यूज को आपको कैसे देखना है? How will you develop that? Right? So current affair especially, many a times this question, especially this Gandikota Canyon, that particular year, this video was quite viral. Everyone was sharing this video. BBC has made one video about this Gandikota Canyon. It was being shared by many of the politicians, administrators, scholars, students. तो वो बहुत viral था उस time पे, ठीक है ना? Now again, there's the importance of social media here. अब वो समय गया जब आप बोलते थे कि सोशल मीडिया से आइसोलेट होकर हमें पढ़ना है. But now it is the time when you know how to effectively use this social media platform for your preparation. Right? क्योंकि अगर इस तरह की न्यूज आएंगे, आप कनेक्टेड हो ही नहीं, आपको पता ही नहीं है, then how will you know about that? Right? So it is very important that you also have that set of mind that will help you in understanding these types of current events which are in news. Okay, now I'll show you some other questions as well. This Ukraine crisis, guys, you might be remembering it. This Ukraine I taught in my class lecture also. There was one video also available on the net where I have covered this topic. And that year I told my students that this a particular location is important. This might be asked this year or maybe next year. So that year it was not asked, but the next year the same question was asked. And in my class lectures, I told them how to memorize the bordering countries. कैसे इस bordering countries जो कि यूक्रेन को सराउंड कर रहा है उसको कैसे याद करना है, ये मैंने उनको बताया था. And this was the same question that was asked in 2023. So consider the following countries. These were the options and which share a land border with Ukraine. Right? So you have to understand which are the news that are important, the map with respect to map, with respect to particular location, with respect to any particular geographical feature, with respect to any particular river. You must be knowing which are the important things that is linked with your syllabus that might be asked in your UPSC examination, and that will only come through a complete or proper guidance. Now this is the question that is again directly asked from my lecture. It is given in NCERT. I am not saying that it is not given in NCERT. It is given in NCERT. But when you will go and read the NCERT, you will not understand why this phenomena is occurring, why it is happening, right? So it is very important that along with the NCERT, you have the conceptual development in your mind that why this particular phenomena is occurring. Only then you will be able to solve these types of questions. ठीक है ना? तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपके पास टाइम कम है तो आप एक प्रॉपर लेक्चर के थ्रू, प्रॉपर गाइडेंस के थ्रू आप अपने सिलेबस को कंप्लीट करो. ओके, सो नाउ दिस इज द क्वेश्चन अगेन विच इज डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द क्लास लेक्चर, द P waves and S waves. So I can challenge you guys, if you read this P wave and S wave from yourself, many a times you will have confusion. कौन सा प्राइमरी है, कौन सा सेकेंडरी है, किसमें परपेंडिकुलर मूवमेंट है, to and fro movement किसमें है, you will be very much confused about that. But once you have understood it properly in a much simpler way, it will be very tough for you to forget this concept. So through our class lectures, what we try to do, we try to inculcate these types of confusing, terminology in your mind in a much, much simpler way. So again, this is a question of 2023. So जिसने भी क्लास लेक्चर अटेंड की थी उन्होंने बहुत इजीली सॉल्व किया इस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन को. नाउ अगेन देयर वर सम क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू मिनरल्स, राइट? मिनरल्स एक क्वेश्चन आया था एंड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर ईयर आई एम टेलिंग यू गाइस, रॉकेट बॉय, There's a series called Rocket Boy, and about this Rocket Boy, there was a big article in Indian Express about the famous personalities that are associated with the development of nuclear technology or the nuclear energy in India. होमी भाभा थे, विक्रम साराभाई थे, और भी कई लोग थे, जो पोखरान टेस्ट हुआ था, इंदिरा गांधी थी. So these are the big personalities, right? और इसके बारे में आपको ऐसे भी पढ़ना है in UPSC. Now see, this historical personalities, bigger personalities, they are also associated with some type of geographical phenomena, some type of geographical location, right? How? Because nuclear development, nuclear energy is part of your geography. The minerals that are associated with it, monazite, है ना? तो monazite कहाँ मिलता है? That becomes part of geography. Now the personalities that were involved in the development of nuclear technology, that also becomes part of your geography. So this was the question that was asked in, like, I think 2 years back. And in that particular question, that was coming from directly from NCERT chapter called minerals. Mineral में एक chapter है, geography में एक chapter है minerals का, और वहाँ पे एक paragraph में उस mineral के बारे में they have mentioned, monazite के बारे में they have mentioned, thorium के बारे में they have mentioned, right? So now people were thinking from where this question have come. हम लोग कैसे जानेंगे कि which are the places, which are the states where exactly this monazite is located? You have to remember that this is a rare earth element, right? It cannot be found in abundance everywhere in the Indian continent. There will be certain specific locations where these minerals will be found, है ना? तो आपको ये जो एक analysis है, ये जो एक development है, वो कैसे आएगा? वो पढ़ के ही नहीं आएगा सिर्फ, वो समझ के आएगा. वो एक analysis आपके दिमाग में होनी चाहिए. You must be knowing how to develop this type of logical relationship, because everything you can't read, everything you can't memorize, because there will be certain things which you will forget. So there you have to apply your mind. So to apply that mind, you have to develop basic understanding of each and every phenomena that are associated with the Earth's surface. And then only it will become very easy for all of you to clear those types of questions. So with the help of the foundation lectures, we'll try to sort out the issues that are faced by students, and we'll try to build up the strong building or infrastructure or the strong structure for the geography. And that will help you in the preparing the foundation of this UPSC preparation. So I hope guys you will like this lecture, and see you soon. Thank you so much.